Welcome back to Just Got Played. This is your boy Jim Jam JJ here, and I got another how to play video for you. I told you it was coming. Hopefully you saw the unboxing, and now you're getting the how to play. So without further ado, let me bring this out to you, and then you'll see what it is. That's right, here it is. It's Thunder Road Vendetta, the base game. Not the Chrome Edition just yet, but we're going to do the how to play with the base game, and then you can add the Chrome Edition later. So we just got the basic player abilities. I got the orange player out here. So everything is going to run the same as far as the different players. You can play 2 to 4 players in this game. Takes, about an hour or so, depending on if somebody gets blown up or eliminated. Gameplay is going to keep going. Everybody's going to take their turns activating all their vehicles and then playing their little board power until one player is completely eliminated from the board or all their cars are inoperable. At that time, you're going to take the end game board, free city, and then that's going whoever crosses the free city finish line will get to is the winner. That's basically how it goes. So if you have at least one car surviving all the way till the end, you win. Yay! So played this game a couple of times, played it during Dice Tower, and loved it. We all, most of us like the game. You will see the review eventually for this. But most of us didn't think we were going to like it at first. Probably even saw the Kickstarter and said no, and then came back and were like, oh, this is amazing. So I really enjoy this game, and this is why I'm going to do a how to play with you right here. Not going to take too long. The game is not very complicated. It's just a bunch of randomness, and you're just going through and you're trying to smash each other and knock each other off the board and be the last survivor to make it into free city, the victory, the finish line. First thing you're going to do is you're going to choose the 3 spaces, usually starting with the chapter 1A, or you can flip it over to 1B. The parking lot, each board space has a different name. Go through all of that. But basically you want to start with 1A or B, and that's going to be your first starting space, starting board. Everybody's going to start with this board, and then you're going to choose 2 other boards randomly, and that's the racetrack for that game that you're playing. Anytime somebody moves on off to the 3rd board, you're just going to take the last board, flip it over and put it towards the end and slide everything down. Any vehicles or anything that's on the hazards or whatever have you are on the board that gets taken off gets eliminated. So, you're going to hopefully be off that board before somebody else makes it all the way to the end. Also, you're going to shuffle the hazard tokens and fill in the spaces. It's going to be determined by the number of players, what spaces you fill in. All the other boards that are going to have hazard spaces, you're just going to put a hazard token on that space, and that'll determine what the hazard is for that turn. It's supposed to be randomly assigned onto the board. And then we have the damage tokens. There's just a few here. You're going to randomly draw those out anytime your vehicle's damaged. If you have 2 damage tokens on your vehicle, it is inoperable, and then until you repair it, you can't actually put that car back into a race. But for all purposes, it's pretty much a wreckage or a wrecked vehicle. It can still be slammed, it just can't be moved or damaged further. So you can't shoot it because there's no point. And for each player space, each player is going to have their player boards. So that's going to be your little optional action board, and then 1 board for each one of your vehicles. Everybody gets a large, medium, and small vehicles in the base game, and you get your 4 die in your color and your helicopter. So this is how your player board is going to go. If you ever get damaged, you're going to put the damage tokens underneath, just like so. Flip it over, depending on what it is. Blast off ability. Most of the damage tokens are going to have a special effect or whatever you want to call it. Every time you get damaged, then once it's removed, it just goes away. And then if you ever have the 2 damage on your vehicle, you're supposed to flip over your board, take your vehicle, and turn it backwards compared to the direction. Usually you're going from left to right, whatever. But at that point, unless you know that vehicle is inoperable. And then once you remove at least 1 of the damage away, you can flip your board back over and your car can go back into the race. If at any point your car gets eliminated, then you just take the car off the board and flip your board over and put your car on top of the board. So that way everybody knows it's no longer in the race. Okay, I have the starting board set up for 3 players. So as you can see on the starting board, you only put hazard tokens on spaces denoted by that many players. So we have 2 or 3 players, you cover that up. To determine first player, all you're going to do is roll the die, determining whoever has the highest number gets to go first. Every round, when the first player takes their turn, they're going to roll the road die. The road die gives you a bonus at the end of your movement if you manage to stay on the road spaces throughout your whole entire turn. Remember, you do that last. Anytime during your turn, when you decide to move one of your cards, you have to take the whole movement, no more, no less. And at the end of that, if you manage to stay on the road the whole time, you can take the extra movement on the road die. After everybody takes their turn, the road die is going to pass to the player on the left, and then that person becomes the first player for the next round. The turns alternate clockwise until somebody reaches the finish line, or as the last survivor. On a player's turn, when they decide to move their car, they're going to assign one of their 4 dice to a particular car, and they're going to start out at the beginning of the race. You start at any one of the edge of the board road spaces, and then your movement will have to move forward. You can never move backward. So there are 3 spaces that are adjacent and in front of the space that your car is on. You have to move in one of those spaces, always moving forward, however many movement die that you decide to use for that specific vehicle. At the end of your turn, if you happen to end in a space that is adjacent and behind a vehicle that, even if it's yours, you have the choice if you want to shoot that vehicle. At that point, you would roll the accuracy die, which has all different faces on it with crosshairs and then like an M or an L or S. The corresponding letters go to the size of the vehicle that you are shooting at. If you manage to roll a face that has the corresponding vehicle, then that's a hit. The person that you are attacking, or yourself, I don't know why you would want to do that, but the rulebooks say you can. They take a damage token and then apply the effects and assign it to that vehicle. If at any point you go into a space with somebody else's vehicle, even yours, which I don't understand why, that initiates a slam. At that point, you put the car that is initiating the slam goes on top of the other car. And sometimes it could be like a wreck or something. And then at that point, you will roll the slam die and the direction die, which indicate which vehicle is being affected, which is the slam die. It could be the top or the bottom. As you can see the faces there, I believe it's 50-50. And then the direction die will let you know which direction the affected vehicle is going. So the grayed in space is the vehicle, and then the hollowed out space is the direction they're going. There's a die face for each different direction. Hopefully you manage to stay on the board when you're knocked out, because if you're on the edge, say this slam happened over here, and you got a face that knocked you off the board somehow, then that car is eliminated from the race. So even if you initiate the slam, you could be the one that's flying off the board. Just remember that. When assigning die for movement to a specific vehicle, you're going to take that die, you're going to put it onto that vehicle board. So it tells you which vehicle you're going to move. Then you're going to move the vehicle that number of spaces, and then if you manage to stay on the road spaces, you can add the road die movement to it. As an optional thing, you have 4 die, so only 3 of your die are going to be assigned to your vehicles. The 4th die that you have, before or after you move a vehicle on your turn, you can use something on your player board or your command board, depending on the corresponding value of the die. This space here is 1 through 3. That is the nitro. So when you assign that onto that, once you assign a die that's value 1 through 3 onto that space, you can move that vehicle that many extra spaces. The drift is a value of 3 through 5. You can ignore the first slam your car would have this turn. So when you move into a space with another vehicle or wreckage, it doesn't initiate a slam. You kind of drift through it only the first time during that turn with that specific vehicle. And then a value of 6 is how you repair. So as you notice, there's only one value that counts for repair. So hopefully you roll some 6s. Otherwise, your cars are going to be all inoperable. But once you assign that die, you can assign inoperable car to get repaired and then move on with that car during that turn. And then any value can be used for an airstrike. Basically what happens is you place your chopper on an empty space and you shoot with it. So you would have to move your chopper into a space that's not occupied with a vehicle and within range. So let me show you here. So we have our board and I want to shoot the blue vehicle The chopper has to be in a space just like with regular shooting with a vehicle. Has to be in one of the 3 adjacent spaces behind that vehicle, so I can still shoot the blue vehicle even though I'm there. And then at that point, you're going to roll the accuracy die and apply the damage if it hits, just like before, with shooting with a car. So the cars can shoot, and then you can just pop your chopper in there and then shoot with the chopper. The chopper doesn't ever get destroyed; it just kind of comes back to your player board, and then you can use it again on a different turn. Each one of your command actions is going to be used once per round, because you can only assign the 1 die on there. If a car ever gets slammed or happens to slide or whatever, because there's oral slicks on the hazard spaces as well, underneath a chopper in the same chopper space, it is also at that point eliminated. Just so you remember that. So just be careful when you're slamming next to a helicopter or the edge of the board, because you could get blown up and removed from the race. Okay, and I'm going to stay zoomed in here to show you there's another space here for coast. At a certain point, you might, if you're very unlucky, be one of the people with only 1 vehicle on the board. At that point, you're going to have extra die. So there's a little coast space here that denotes how many die can be used by. You see these 2 little dots here. So if you have only 1 vehicle on the road, and actually, you can do it whatever, but I don't know why you would do it whatever. No matter what die face you have, your extra die can be used there to coast. Basically, no matter what space your car is on, it always gets to move 1 space forward. So you can use a die because you can only use 1 die on your command board and only 1 die to move that specific car, that value of it. So you're going to have extra die if you've lost 2 of your vehicles. You're still in the race, but you just can't move anything else. So you can assign a die to that space to move whatever car you have left 1 space forward. And so play continues until somebody, is the last person standing or makes it to the end. It's really a simple game. It's a lot of randomness. Check out the review. I don't know if it came out before or after this, but check out the review so you know what we think about it. Try not to take it too seriously. It doesn't really take that long, depending if everybody can survive. I was usually very unfortunate in my games where I get most of my cars eliminated. I'm down to 1 car, and then somehow magically I end up making it to the end or just blow up right away. It's pretty bad. I get targeted a lot, but it's a very fun game. I enjoyed it. I'm waiting for the Chrome Edition. Can't wait for that to come in. I want all the player powers and the Big Rig and the Fatal 5. Those guys have special rules with them. In general, drifting, you have to turn that ability on with your player power, but like the Fatal 5, they just have unlimited drifting, and the Big Rig is just always the bottom car in a slam or something like that. So it's crazy. Hopefully you'll get to see a little bit of gameplay of that when it comes in or something. I'll think of something. And so I hope you enjoyed the How to Play Thunder Road and Vendetta, the basic retail version. Go out and play it, and then let us know. Come to the Discord. Like, subscribe, share on this video. Comment below. Let me know what you think. I really love this game. As I said, I wasn't into it when I first saw it on Kickstarter, when I was suggested to play it at Dice Tower. But then after like half a game, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Unfortunately, it was the Chrome Edition that I was playing. I didn't realize the what did not come with the retail version. So if you have a chance, in my opinion, go and get the Chrome Edition for multiple replays. The retail version gets your, tickles your fancy just a little bit. But go out there and get the Chrome Edition if you can, if they put it Restoration Games. 2 to 4 players. It really depends on how long nobody believes the time on games anyway, but it says 30 to 75 minutes. I don't know what the player count in that is. It's really crazy when you have like 5 or 6 players. I know you're not supposed to go to 6 players, but why not? There's enough board space there. You can do it. Just really randomness. That's what I wanted to say. Don't try to plan anything. Just play the game. Hopefully you enjoyed the How to Play, and hopefully, there's other stuff in here as far as like the hazard powers and the damage tokens, but I'm not going to get into that. You can see from the rulebook what they all do. Some make your movement stop, some don't, yada, 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 yakety schmackety. But this is the basic How to Play. This is Jim Jam JJ with Just Got Played. Come to the Discord. Tell me what you think. Show me pictures of how your game went down and all that there. But either way, just come to the Discord. But until next time, bye.